Today I'm going to be vinyl wrapping my fork. Stay tuned. So, decided I want to change up the look of my bike, but painting it would cost too much money and violate my warranty, so I'm gonna wrap it in this holographic black vinyl wrap. So this will be fun. So first things first, I gotta get off all these stickers and crap because these are such a rough finish from being scratched and banged on stuff that it's gonna give me a bad seal on the vinyl and give it a really rough look, and I'm not about that. I want it to look nice and smooth, so I gotta take all these off with one of these plastic knives and should be good. Look at that. No! Oh, it was gonna be so easy. No. Oh, I thought I was gonna get it in one pull.
Peel it more.
Why? Alright, let me try this again. There we go. Look at that. That's a clean side of the fork. Alright, so next I gotta cut off these mud flaps to get them out of the way. Luckily, these things are just held on by zip ties, so I can just cut those off. And these are cheap $5 Amazon mud flaps. I'll leave a link below. They're pretty great. So yeah, let's get those all off and move on. So I got my bike up in the stand. Now I'm just gonna remove my front tire and then take my forks off. So not too hard, and then that should make it a lot easier to work and maneuver around and get it clean. Need a little here. It's a little micro one I gotta find. So hopefully I have the right size. Alright, now that I got everything out of the way where I took those stickers off, I'm going to be spraying some Gooby Gone on this and get rid of all this kind of rough leftover adhesive. And this stuff is great for that. Got a shop towel. Let's get to it. Alright, so here's something I just thought of. If you're going to be covering up your sticker on the back of your fork that shows you all the pressures, you might want to take a picture of it first. That way you don't lose it. So I'm going to take a snapshot of that for myself and then get to clean it down. Alright, so next I'm going to be moving the headset up here from the fork. We're going to drop that thing down and then it should be able to come out and I can clean it a little bit better and get in every single nook and cranny. So let's go ahead and get that bad boy off. And this bad boy will just slide on out. And now we got our fork. So next step is we're going to clean down this whole fork really good, get it with some rubbing alcohol, and then once it's sufficiently cleaned, we'll get to wrapping it. So while I have this all apart, I'm going to go ahead and re-lube everything that needs lube, and yeah, get rid of some of this old grease and put in some new grease. So should run a little bit smoother too. Ask y'all to keep it down because she's taking a little nap, so we're going to have to be quiet while we do this. So I got the fork. I got all that old grease off the fork. Don't worry, I'm going to put new grease on it when we go back, but it's just going to make it a lot easier to work with without all that grease there. We got the Gooby Gone on it, so that's all cleaned up. We've wiped it down. We've got all that adhesive residue off. We got the stickers off. Next, we're going to take some 70% isopropyl alcohol. Say that 10 times fast, why don't you? And we're going to put on some shop towels. If you're going to do this, make sure you use shop towels. That way it doesn't leave a bunch of fibers behind. Like paper towels will leave fibers behind. So we're going to use some shop towels, get on there, and then we're going to wipe the whole thing down, get it super clean, and then we're going to start vinyl wrapping. So I'm really just trying to get this thing deep cleaned as good as possible, really get in there, all the nooks and crannies, and get it nice and clean because we don't want it to be dirty whatsoever. We want it as clean as possible. So I'm just gonna get it in there. Which, if you just want to add some shine back to your bike though, this is just take your fork off and then a little bit of rubbing alcohol after you know, maybe get a little bit of water rinse, and I mean this thing is getting kind of shiny real quick. It's almost a shame to vinyl wrap it because the black's really pretty, but I think it's going to be really cool when I get it done. Some of y'all are probably going to think I'm being a little too meticulous with it, but you really want it as clean as possible. Everything I've read, what I've seen people do it, it's just you want this thing to be as spick and span as possible, and it's going to help make it last longer. So I'm just getting in there, trying to get in every nook and cranny, and just get it all clean. I think it's going to look really good when we're done. Should hopefully look really good. If not, whatever. I tried something different. And the beauty of the vinyl wrap is you can just rip it right off, because it won't hurt your paint. So the whole point of it is it's going to protect my paint, because I've been getting a lot of chips lately. So yeah, looks looking pretty clean. I'm going to let that evaporate and then we'll move on. Okay, so I got to lay down some lines, and I'm trying to get a seamless kind of cut. So I got this knifeless tape, which will give me a nice straight cut. With any luck, hopefully. So let's get that put down. Alright, so I got the knifeless tape down. Pro tip, give yourself a little bit extra on both ends, just in case one end breaks. And if you have more, it's a lot easier to yank and pull this stuff to get a nice clean cut. So, a little tip I've learned. So the heat and stretch this vinyl out, it's kind of hard to do on the fork because it kind of rolls around. So I have my lovely helper, and she's going to hold the... That was so goofy. She's going to hold the heat gun, and essentially she's heating up the vinyl so it loosens up so I can stretch it out and get rid of all the wrinkles when I go to apply it all the way around. So, go ahead and blast me. So essentially what we're doing right here is we're just heating up the vinyl wrap. When you heat up the vinyl wrap, it actually makes it a lot more pliable. This makes it easier to work with, get around the nooks and crannies, and gets it all stretched out. That way you don't get as many wrinkles. Especially with a holographic vinyl wrap, because the holographic vinyl wraps are kind of stiff and hard to work with. And then you kind of just come in back in here and you smooth it out with a card, and then you're all set, and it looks good, and you're good to go. Alright, so just got our knifeless tape, we got it down. I'm going to pull that excess off. Yeah, there's a cord right here. And then we're going to just give it a little bit of a start so it isn't so hard to get it to come out. And I'll link below in the... Then we're going to give it a tug and pull it on through. I'll link in the description below where to get this stuff. It's a real lifesaver. Alright, now we're going to pull off our excess. Make that cut. Then we just pull this out like so. Look at that. I got a nice cut. Nice little seam. And we're just going to come back and smooth that out real quick. And golden. Looks good. Look at that, guys. It's looking good. Got that black holographic on there now. I'm going to show it to you on the sunlight too. But yeah, I got the whole thing decked out in it now. So now I just got to put it back on the bike. Alright guys, so here's how it looks in the daylight. This thing really shines in the sunlight. It's pretty awesome. Really happy with how it turned out. So as always, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, be a big help. And thanks for watching.